Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Mr. Almighty Lewis back at you with another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about living the simple life and really embracing it and being okay with just living the simple life. Alright, so if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification icon. And at the end of the video, if you really like this video, make sure that you hit the like button because it really helps. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So, living the simple life, right? This isn't very encouraged by many people or just the media or stuff like that, right? I mean, everybody's sort of telling you that in order to live like the happy life, the best life ever, you gotta have the best things in life, right? You gotta have these expensive cars, you gotta have this expensive house, you gotta have this much amount of wealth, and you gotta have X and Y in order for you to live the perfect, the best possible life, right? However, not many people preach about living the simple life, about living very minimalistic, not really having too much in your life and just having the essentials and really the basics in order for you to be content and at the same time, continue to survive and really have the essentials in order to keep whatever it is that you're doing in your life. So, you may be doing a couple of projects, you may be involved in some sort of I don't know, business or something along those lines. So you're gonna need a specific amount of like tools and resources that are gonna help continue that going. So in that case, it's perfectly acceptable when you're living the minimalistic life that you still have resources that keep those things running because those things are your passion. Those things are essential to your life in order for you to feel fulfilled and to feel happy. So yes, so why isn't it why isn't it mentioned very often, to live the simple life and really just, be content with having the minimal stuff, the minimal amount of things in your life, just having a basic car, just having a basic way of living life, just having a limited amount of clothing, a limited amount of shoes and stuff like that. And just getting rid of everything that's really not essential and that you don't really need in your life. Why isn't it preached so much? Too much, right? Well, here's the thing. Living the simple life is obviously not beneficial to any company out there. So whatever company out there that sells any sort of merchandise or any product or service, they need to convince you that you need those things. So let's just say, for example, having a really good car, right? So let's just say that you're not really interested in cars, right? You're just like, whatever. You're pretty neutral to it. You're like, you know what? I just need something that gets me from point A to point B, and that to me is more than enough, right? But then you have these brands, these car brands. They start to market to you, and what I mean by marketing to you, that means that they're trying to, sell you an idea, but not quite sell you yet, but more like get you excited about the idea of buying something. So that's really what marketing is, and so they try to really tap into your emotions. So, these brands that sell like very high end cars are like, they go beyond the basics, and they give you like all these extra luxuries and everything, right? They try to convince you that you actually need that in your life in order for you to feel fulfilled and to feel happy and everything along these lines. And so that's really like their goal. They're really, what they're trying to do is they're trying to sell you, their car. Ultimately, they want you to go and actually have this in your mind and be like, all right, I need to have the best car possible. I need to have that car because if I don't have that car, then I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be fulfilled, you know and to some degree, like they even try to embed a sort of like status sort of element into their marketing. So meaning that if you buy this car, your status is automatically gonna go even higher, because now you have this car and stuff. The perception of people is gonna be way different. They will perceive you as this like huge, big success and everything, and so they just sort of persuade you into going into buying that car. Now, if that's your purpose, which it could be, if you're running a business and you need to impress potential customers and stuff like that, then yes, perhaps buying that car might be the right choice because you need to do that in order to operate your business, and it's all part of a strategy. But if it's not part of a strategy and you're gonna go and buy that car just to make yourself happy, make yourself look better in front of people, and it's not just like potential customers, but it's just people in general, you just want to impress everybody who looks at your car, then this is where it becomes a really bad idea to actually go and buy that car, because at that point, it's sort of a waste of money. As opposed to the other guy who's buying it for business purposes, he's gonna get his money back, because he's gonna take that car specifically to places where he can attract his potential customers. And once those potential customers actually convert, they're gonna give him money for his business, and then eventually he's gonna make back the money that he spent buying that car in the first place. So that's what a strategy. But in this case, if all you're doing is just wanting to impress people and not actually have a strategy to, turn this impression of people into money, so that you're able to, get your money back. Because at the end of the day, you're spending money buying that car, so you should expect to get something in return, not just validation, not just people liking you, not just people saying good things about you. That's bullshit. All right. And I still have to make a video on validation, but just know for right now that you don't need that. And that's really the worst way to do anything in life. Never do anything in life for validation only. Okay, validation can be one element, of course. Why not throw it in there? If I throw validation in there once in a while just for fun, because I just want to, feel good or something. I just think it's kind of funny actually when I'm able to trigger validation in people, because it's just fun. It's just fun to see, and like it's just good to experiment. But never do this. Never actually do this for real, like where you actually need the validation, and if not, you're gonna go and be all pissed off and stuff like that. So like, yeah. But yeah, so like I was saying though, like originally my main point of this was to let you guys know that, hey, there's a lot of companies out there who are trying to convince you that you need their product, and that their product is really going to ultimately change your life and make it better and make it more fulfilled, and just make you feel like you are like a boss, and you're the best person in the world and stuff like that. And they give you so many claims, and believe me, some of these claims are very, very false. Because here's the thing: as an introvert, let me tell you something. You are adequate, you are wired, and you are capable of living a simple life. You are capable of being a minimalistic and really just focusing on the basics, and you don't need any of this other external stuff. You don't need it. It's really not essential and stuff like that. And so you have to really consider all that and make your own conclusion. But here's the thing: like, not a lot of people are introverts. Right now, you may be watching this video, and the people around you, they're not introverts, and so they don't understand what it's like to really enjoy the simple life. Most of those extroverts, perhaps they may be living the simple life right now, but they're not enjoying it. They're not finding any fulfillment. They're just waiting until they make like a decent amount of money so they can go and spend it and buy all these really cool things and stuff like that. But like us introverts, we genuinely love the simple life, and so you have to learn how to appreciate that. Because if you don't, then you're gonna fall into, like I said, you're gonna let other people's influence really get to you, and then you're gonna end up spending money and buying things that you don't really need in life, and that ultimately is gonna start to ruin your mind little by little. Because then you're gonna start thinking that, hey, you know what? Buying new things is actually making me happy and stuff, so let me keep buying. And then you get into this routine of just buying new things, and you're always trying to buy the most expensive things, because the most expensive things usually are proclaimed to bring the most amount of happiness. So if you start buying like cheap things, they come with a little bit of happiness. And then if you buy more expensive things, then the happiness just gets bigger and bigger, right? And it's all a lie. It's all a lie, because no product is really capable of making you happy. And if you're an introvert, you understand this very well, that no product can really make you happy. What really makes you happy is progression, and really just progression. That's really what makes introverts, really fulfilled and happy. Is just progression. It's just the sense that we're going somewhere, that we're doing something, that we're working on some sort of process, some sort of strategy, and we're working at it every single day, and we're putting in a little bit of effort here and there and stuff like that. And that's really what makes an introvert really appreciate the process, as opposed to most extroverts who don't, and all they focus on is on the results. So yeah, living the simple life. It's really awesome. It's really good, but you'll never get there if you continue to listen to these people who are telling you that you need to buy all these things, and immerse yourself in situations where you're gonna spend a lot of money and stuff like that and get the best of the best things because we don't need it. See, we don't need it as introverts. You don't need it. And and believe me, I used to be that person who used to buy a lot of stuff, and I used to buy like the most expensive stuff, and yeah, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal, It was a big of a deal before I even bought the thing, but now after I bought the thing, then I was just like, you know what, like, okay, cool, I bought the thing, it's cool. I was excited. So never confuse the emotion of excitement and happiness. They're two very completely emotions, and people tend to confuse these if you don't understand your emotions. If you don't, go watch my video on emotional intelligence. But do acknowledge and realize that excitement and happiness are two very different um, emotions, and you don't want to mix those up or switch one for the other because they're two very different emotions. When you buy something that's new and you buy it and it's very expensive, and you're feeling like the rush inside of your heart, you're feeling that feeling right there is excitement. It's not happiness, it's excitement. You're excited, there's something new, you just got something new, and it's very expensive, and in other people's eyes, that's like the shit, and it's really cool, and you should feel very lucky, and you should this and you should that, and fuck the should. I'm serious, man. I'm gonna make a video in the next one. The next video is gonna be about like how should, the word should is just the worst word ever to hear, to be told. But anyway, that's not part of this video here, but you really shouldn't feel anything. They're like these marketers. Like I said, learning marketing actually helped me understand this very well because now I understand the whole scheme and the whole tactics that go behind somebody trying to convince you that you need their product in order to be happy and everything, because marketing is all about that. It's all about tapping into your emotions and making you feel like, hey, you know what, there's a void inside you, there's something you're missing, and once you buy my product or once you sign up to my service, you're going to be fulfilled, you're going to fill that void, and all this stuff. And the thing is that no, like, no product, no service is actually capable of really filling your void. It's just all a trick. It's just all a facade. It's all a story, that's made up by these marketers in order to get you to, purchase whatever it is that they have to sell. And you understanding that you can live the simple life, just having the essentials, the basics, the mere things that you need in order to survive and still do the things that you love to do. That's really the fulfilling life, and that's really the simple life that us introverts should be pursuing all the time. Because and I would say this doesn't just apply to introverts. Of course, I think introverts have a very natural tendency to pursue this type of life because that's just who we are, and that's just how we understand life, really. And that's why, if you're an introvert, or just most introverts in general, you see that they they don't really find too much care in the stuff that they own, like I for the most part, I used to find a lot of fulfillment in the stuff that I own, but that was because I was trapped in this whole marketing thing. But after I let go of that, which doesn't happen very often, that introverts fall for these marketing schemes and stuff like that. Doesn't happen very often, unless of course you're in a position, in a place where life is just kind of sucks, and you just don't understand yourself just yet, because as introverts it can get very complicated in your mind. That's why I'm making this entire channel, that way you're able to understand what goes on in your mind. But like, yes, it can get very, very, very complex in there. And so yeah, I mean, I used to buy off emotion and just be very attached, to the things that I used to buy, and I used to like really like go crazy when one of them just broke down or I lost one of them, and it was just horrible. It was like the end of the world and stuff like that. But now it's like I don't really care. Stuff breaks, whatever. I just go and replace it. It doesn't really matter. But the thing is, at this point, I don't even own that many things, and the few things that I do own, I know that they serve a purpose in my life. They help me achieve something. I have have this phone right here. Obviously, I need a phone. I need a good, capable phone that's able to do the tasks that I needed to do. Then I have a computer, of course. The computer helps me get a lot of work done. and I have things like my microphone for music, because I need to record, and I want to get the best possible audio quality that I can get when I'm recording my songs. So I have a microphone for that. Then I have the software that goes along with that and stuff like that, right? And when the bowling alleys were open, I was investing time, investing money in order to get there. I was investing money playing game after game after game because I really wanted to get good at bowling. So like, and that was essential to me because that was a journey that I was pursuing, and I still will continue to pursue once they open them up. But yeah, that was something that I was really going hardcore, and that was essential to me. So that made sense for me to spend money there. So once you start to realize this, and you start to realize that and it's a simple life. It's just simple. It's not like I have like a bunch of things. I own like a lot of things. No, like owning the essential things is more than enough. You don't need to own like these all these crazy things, because you don't need them. They're not you. You're not part of them. And so the simple life. The simple life is really just about pursuing the things that really make you happy at the end of the day, and the things that really that make you calm, that make you happy, that make you be in the present moment. Now, these things can be things like also like listening to music. Maybe all you really like to do is listen to music. So maybe you take the time to really go and just listen to music. Sit somewhere in your house maybe, or maybe you go to a park or some isolated area where you just put on your headphones and you just relax. I tend to do that sometimes, and I haven't done it in a while actually, but when I used to do it a lot, I mean, that was very soothing. It was just relaxing. Maybe you go hiking by yourself, go do an activity by yourself and stuff like that. And that itself, that's the simple life. You don't need to go party, you don't need to go to these really crazy events and stuff like that. And like I said, you don't have to really you don't have to do it to push yourself out of the comfort zone, because that's some bullshit. I made a video on the truth about the comfort zone. Don't let other people convince you that, oh, you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to go and do this one big thing, uh, in order to prove yourself, that you're worth it or something like that, or for you to grow. Introverts do not grow that way, and and you just shouldn't listen. The only time you should even consider that is when an introvert actually tells you that this is a good idea in order for your growth. And this introvert should be very knowledgeable and educated in the area of personal development for introverts. If not, do not listen to this person, because they really don't know what they're talking about. They don't know you. They don't know how you function. So they may be doing a disservice to you, and this may be intentional or this might be unintentional, but you must speak up and tell them like, hey, you know what, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, period. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to do any of that stuff. All right, but always, consider a simple life. Now, if you're an introvert right now and you're thinking that, hey, you know what, Lewis, you're full of bullshit, and I'm gonna go and get all the shit that I want, and fuck you with your simple life and shit like that. Yeah, that's all fine too. If you don't wanna pursue, I mean, this is just one pursuit, and I'm telling you that this pursuit is more congruent to introverts because just about how we're wired and stuff. But if the simple life just isn't for you, and you actually want to go out there and like use your abilities, to buy all these really cool and expensive things, and not live the simple life, but instead go and live a very complicated life where you're constantly going from meeting to meeting. You're going to this event, you're going to this meeting, you're going to handle that business, and you're going to go do this and that, then that's fine too. If that's the life you want to live. I mean, introverts are pretty well capable of doing that kind of deal too. However, I feel like it's gonna be more of a energy expense, and you really have to consider, where your decision is coming from, really. So really, as long as it's congruent, as long as you really feel it in your heart to go and do that, then go do that. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that really consider where it's coming from. Like I said, there's a lot of marketing schemes out there, and there's just a lot of people who are trying to convince you that that's the right life to live. The life where you're constantly busy, you're constantly going after this, you're constantly going after that, and this and that and stuff like that. And the answer is that no, you don't have to live that life. You can be all that really matters is that you're fulfilled and happy. And if you're fulfilled and happy with the simple things just by reading a book or stuff like that, then pursue that life. But I just want you to have that choice. And for you to make a choice that ultimately, makes you happy and that makes you fulfilled. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. And yeah, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification icon. And there will be some videos right here so you guys can watch more of my content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.